PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds opened the floodgates for what would eventually become the Battle Royale craze of 2018. It wasn't the first, but it was the one to make the genre a mainstream success. The rate of growth it received for the second half of 2017 creeping into 2018 was unheard of, and it was a rare sight to behold a gamer who was unaware of the game's existence. The first quarter of 2018 saw the rise to prominence of Epic Games' Fortnite, another battle royale game similar in concept to PUBG but more cartoony, more casual, and with building mechanics to separate itself gameplay-wise to its direct competitor in PUBG. At this point, a decent amount of the player base shifted to Fortnite, but PUBG's player base held strong for the most part. However, slowly the problem started to become more and more apparent. PUBG was always marred with optimization issues right out of the gate. In the early stages, this was excused to, oh, it's only early access, this will be fixed on release, while it raked in the millions and millions of sales in the meantime. Even with all of the money generated, there didn't seem to be much on the end of fixing all of the problems that people were promised would be fixed on release. The general consensus was that it ran fine until you got into the crowded areas and the frame rate would drop significantly, which is the last thing you want in a shooter. And along with the FPS drops, the player base dropped as well. Also coming with the release of PUBG was opening the game up to China and Asian countries in general. The problem was that there was no region locking in place, causing ping issues as well as opening the game up to aimbots and other hacking problems directly as a result to the influx of the Chinese player base. An article from IGN read that 99% of banned cheaters were from China at the time, which had a ridiculous weight by comparison, and that China only made up 48% of the player base. Another blow to the player base came when PUBG Corporation decided to sue Epic Games over the Battle Royale genre. Let that sink in for a moment because yes, it is just as stupid as you think it sounds. In this article from Forbes, Eric Kane says what we are all thinking very well, where he points out, the problem with this lawsuit is simple. You can't copyright a gameplay mode or genre. If this was the case, every tabletop RPG after Dungeons & Dragons would have been sued into oblivion. Every first-person shooter after Wolfenstein and Doom would have been hit with a lawsuit. It's like trying to copyright basketball or hockey. You can't do that. What you can copyright are assets, but many of PUBG's assets are simply ones purchased from the Unreal Store. The game itself, which I enjoy and think is very fun, is just about as generic as any you'll ever see. The island is big and brown and forgettable. The character models, skins, and items are generic and unremarkable. PUBG has nothing distinct about its world or story that would hold up in court. Now, a lot of what the PUBG diehards argued here at the time was that Brendan Greene worked on the original Arma 3 Battle Royale mod, as well as H1Z1, which pioneered the genre in the gaming scene. But the concept itself was just a ripoff of the Battle Royale novel and movie from Japan, so are we going for who actually created the idea or what now? The other issue with the lawsuit in general is that by suing Fortnite, you admitted that they were a threat and that you yourself acknowledged your product to be inferior. A good portion of the PUBG player base found the lawsuit to be petty, in poor taste, and the player base continued to drop. The lawsuit itself was dropped eventually because obvious reasons, and that it was a stupid lawsuit to begin with and had no real ground to stand on, but the damage had been done. Throughout all of this, the developers continued to acknowledge they had problems that needed to be fixed, but nothing really significant came from it, so the player base continued to drop. So PUBG has been bleeding its player base steadily for all of 2018, and now here we are. September 2018, and the latest blow to hit the player base comes in the form of the Call of Duty Blackout Beta. A game that does PUBG better than PUBG, properly optimized with tighter shooting mechanics. Not third person of course, but PUBG's shooting mechanics relied on the first person realism anyways. A lot of hardcore PUBG fans are probably going to give me shit for these comments saying all of the Blackout guns feel the same and the recoil etc. in PUBG is more fleshed out. But I hate to break it to you, that shit doesn't matter when your game's buggy as fuck, so I don't know, deal with it? I digress. Blackout came out as a monster success, now being touted as the game that will challenge Fortnite and be PUBG's killing blow. The biggest thing separating it from Fortnite of course is that Fortnite is free, while PUBG does require the game to be purchased, so it definitely has a lot more to worry about with the impending release. So, will Call of Duty Blackout kill PUBG? I don't know. Looking at PUBG's numbers since the Blackout beta show the 24-hour peak play count of PUBG to drop below 1 million for the first time in a year, so it's not looking good for PUBG at all. If anything, we all know it will definitely hemorrhage some blood out of PUBG at the very least. But if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think anything needs to kill PUBG. From everything we've talked about so far and looking at its history, it's doing a damn good job of killing itself. But what do you guys think? Does PUBG still have any legs to stand on, or is Blackout the final nail in the coffin that's been waiting to be put to rest for nearly a year now? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and share this video with whoever you want to share it with. If you're new around here, subscribe and notifications to be notified about all upcoming videos, including more gaming news and discussions. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.